Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. We're going to continue with chapter 10, understanding work teams. Last chapter 9, is about work groups. So there are some similarities and differences between work groups and work teams. So in general, teamworks or work teams are more popular than work groups. One of the reasons why the work teams are more popular because they are more effective. Teams are important. Teams are more important because team can achieve more outstanding performance compared if individual employees do the jobs separately or in the groups. So teams are also more flexible and responsive to changing events. Some of the teams in the organization was sometimes they were forms or they were developed just to respond to the changing event. And teams are also quickly assembled. So in many organizations, teams are more popular also, and some organizations or most of the organizations when they have projects they form a team based on the project. So after the project is finished, so the teams can be dismissed. So teams actually was formed or assembled based on certain basis or certain reasons such as project, so they can easily be assembled or refocused. Let's say the teams are not really effective in their work, so teams can be refocused or disband. That's why many organizations prefer to have work teams in the organizations. So teams also can be considered as an effective means to democratize organizations. In the organization, sometimes depend on the leader. Sometimes the leader are so autocratic, the leader are so dictator style. So they not listens to the voices coming from the employees. But if the organizations have many teams, and they have the leaders, the team leaders represent to voice their disagreement with the organizations. So normally the teams, the voices coming from the team are stronger than the voice coming from individual employees. That's why it said democratize, could democratize the organizations, because organization tends to listen to the teams more than to the individual members. And because teams the teams the main principle why teams are developed, because they have to interact to interdependent with each other members. So teams indirectly are actually important that can increase employee involvement because they need to interact, they need to interdependent with each other. So indirectly employees have to involve in the organization, so to involve in doing the work. So because the aim of the team is actually to rely on each other, to interdependent, to cross check with the other members in the same team. So this actually introduce a collaborative mindset instead of competitive mindset. So team actually, when teams develops, they have this kind of give and take in a relationship where members need to depend on each other. If they individually responsible to their performance, if they didn't rely on others, the group or the team's performance are going to be suffered, because the aims of the team actually to depend on each other. So this one of the important factor of the team. So teams need to cooperate with each other, to rely, to have give and takes, and that's actually introduce a collaborative mindset within the teams and within the organizations. So this slide shows the differences between work groups and work teams. So this actually, the if we want to put in the diagram the differences, so this actually you can see the groups consist of individual members in the group. So the groups, I mean the members contributes individually to the groups. But teams, they interdependent with each other. Members, as you can see here, there's kind of random relationship. One member interact with other members, interact with this member. So the performance of the whole team depend on the interdependence or interrelationship between one members with the other. So work groups was developed normally to share information between the members in the group, to make a decisions, to help each other members who maybe have problem in performing the task. So they do not in the groups, they do not have the opportunity to engage in the collective work with joint effort. So they may engage in the collective work, but they didn't have joint effort. What is meant by joint effort is actually one member depend on the other member in order to perform the task. So the performance of one member depend on the performance of the other members. But in work groups, it didn't like that. So in work group, they didn't have joint effort. So each individual members work on its own and contributes on its own, and then the contributions adding up together contribute to the performance of the group. So group performance is the summation of each member in or members' individual contributions. So let's say they have 5 members in the group. So each one of the member contributes, perform their own works, and the performance they adding up all members, the overall performance considered as a group performance. So no positive synergy to create overall performance. What is meant no positive synergy is actually they do not rely on each other. They just rely on themselves. So they do not need others to contribute to their performance, to the effectively on their performance. So basically, work group is collections of individual doing their own works. Work teams, on the other hand, generate positive synergy through coordinations. That means they have to depend on each other members, and one members lack in skill will affect in other members to contribute to effectively to performing the task. So individual effort result in performance. So each of the individual they work in joint effort. The joint effort means they really cooperate. They actively cooperate with each other. They complement each other in terms of skill, in terms of experience, and so on. So these will lead to the more efforts, more performance. So work team is also considered as a subset of the work group. Consider work group as a general or bigger groups, and then from this work group there's a few teams. They've been constructed with the symbiotic purposes. Symbiotic mean they are interrelated, they are interdependent with each other members. So as you can see here, teams members are more interdependent, interrelated. Symbiotics mean this is how symbiotic interactions where they interact with each other. But here they didn't interact. Instead, they work alone, and then their outputs adding up or sum up together contribute to the groups. But here teams, one member contributions depend on the other members' contributions, so all together contribute to the performance of the team. And there are some similarities, however, between work groups and work teams. Of course, in the groups or in the teams, members expect something from the groups. They also form the groups or form the team because they want to have collective efforts, or at least collective normalizations of efforts. That means everyone needs to contribute a minor part at least, and they also need to be teams or groups are also considered as active group dynamics. Active group dynamics mean there are some system in the groups or in the teams that are better than individual working as an individual employees. And also there are also some level of decision makings that maybe are more better in the groups or in the teams in terms of decision making compared to make decision based on individual employees. So both teamwork and work groups or work groups and work team are important in generating ideas, because in the groups or in the team members sometimes they generate ideas, get more collective ideas is better than one ideas coming from one member if they work individually. So the ideas that they generate contribute to pool resources, and these are important to coordinate logistics. Work schedule or whatever in the groups. More effective compared to work alone. For example, in the groups, if you cannot do something, you can go and ask other members to help you, or let's say you cannot work today, you can ask other members to cover your work, and where they cannot work, you just cover their work. So you helping each other basically in the groups and in the teams. But teams are more effective, are more productive compared to work group. Work group just like a normal groups, but work team they have a purpose, and that's why many organizations have teams in their among their employees. So as you can see here, the differences between work groups and work teams. See here, work groups basically the members evolve around the groups, like Earth and other planets evolve or move around the suns. Here, the work teams, the members are interrelated, interdependent with each other, and so they are more random in terms of relationship, give and takes. So in terms of goal, work groups is being developed to share the informations, but work team, their aims is actually to have a collective performance. In terms of synergy, work teams are more positive, but work groups are normally neutral and sometimes negative. In terms of accountability, because under work team, each of the members have to depend on each other, and each of the individual members have to be responsible to the performance of the group. So accountability here is individual and mutual accountability. But work group, each of the members responsible for their own groups, and then their own performance contribute to the performance of the group. So if this one is individual, this one is individual, and mutual accountability among each other. In terms of skill, these work groups are just random and varied. That means individual have their own skills. They need to have the skill or whatever experience to perform the task. But here, work teams, they may have skill, they may not have experience. But as a collective groups, as a collective work team, some members may have experience, some member may have skills, some member may have other abilities, but they help each other. That means employees who do not have skill will be helped by employees who have skill. Employees who do not have experience will be helped by those who have high experience. So they are interdependent. The survival of a group depend on each other. So this is more, it's like when you have one sticks all together, if you have in the groups or in the team, this is more stronger compared to the work groups. So basically we have in the textbook there are 4 types of the team: problem solving, self-managed, cross-functional, or visual. So this is actually, these are 4 teams